Today I'm talking about correlational research. What is correlational research? This is a type of non-experimental research in which the researcher measures two variables and assesses the statistical relationship between them with little or no effort to control extraneous variables. There are three types of correlational research. First one, positive correlation. Positive correlation between two variables is one variable leads other to increase or decrease. Second one, negative correlation. Negative correlation is when an increase in one variable leads to a decrease in another. Third one, no correlation. Two variables are uncorrelated when a change in one doesn't lead to a change in the other. There are some methods used in the correlation research. Firstly, one, naturalistic observation. This is an approach to data collection that involves observing people's behavior in the environment in which it typically occurs. So, naturalistic observation is a type of field research. It could involve observing shoppers in a grocery store, children on a school playground. So, researchers engaged in naturalistic observation usually make their observation as unobtrusively as possible so that participants are often not aware that they are being studied. Second one, content analysis. A family of systematic approaches to measurements using complex achievable data. Just as naturalistic observation requires specifying the behaviors of interest and then noting them as they occur, content analysis requires specifying keywords, phrases, and ideas, and then finding all occurrences of them in the data. These occurrences can be counted, timed, or analyzed in a variety of other ways. How does researcher use correlational research? So there is an example. The topic is about relationship between personality traits and parenting styles among university students. Firstly, researchers pick 530 students randomly in a university. There are 236 boys and 264 girls. There are 296 people who come from city and 234 people who come from urban. So there are different number present different personality traits, and they also provide different level parenting style. After get back the data, researchers use statistics to analyze and compare the parenting style in positive and negative. The result shows females scored significantly higher than males in warmth, sensitivity, and apprehension, but lower in dominance. Students from urban areas scored significantly higher than those from rural areas in dominance, excitability, social hardness, and sensitivity. Students' stability, persistence, and social boldness correlated positively with positive parent emotions such as warmness and understanding, and negatively with negative parenting behavior such as heavy punishment and rejection. Students' apprehension and attention positively correlated with heavy parental punishment and overprotectiveness. These parental emotions and behavior can be used to predict students' personality traits. So positive parenting styles are beneficial to the formation of children's health personality. There are some differences between males and females in personality traits as influenced by parenting style. So correlation research affects many different areas like political science. According to the American political statistics, white Americans are more likely to be Republican and black Americans are more likely to be Democrats. So for the anthropology area, the genetic correlation is an estimate of the additive genetic effects that is shared between our pairs of traits. For example, self-reported mood and psychological reactivity could both be heritable, but their genetic correlation can tell you if they are likely to share the same genes. It is interesting to think about source of the correlation between two phenotype traits. In particular, you could consider the correlation between two variables as the sum of the genetic and environmental contribution to these effects. So for the sociology area, the level of education might correlate negatively with crime. This means if by some way the education level is improved in a country, it can lead to lower crime. So this research is belong to the negative correlational research. For the economy area, using companies which have completed all reform procedures as research sample, the test indicated that the correlation between share price and the interest value has enhanced significantly after the reform. The extent to which the badly performed companies' share prices divide their value is partly corrected. So for the psychologists, among millionaires, happiness is found to be uncorrelated to money. This means increases in money doesn't lead to the happiness. So this is an example is belong to the no no correlation research. For the history, there are many different apparel with different country. And for the philosophy area, education and philosophy, the two disciplines are very closely related and in some areas by overlap each other. It is quite often said philosophy and education are two sides of the same coin. Education is the dynamic side of philosophy. So the philosophy and education can be never be bought off without each other. The presence of one is incomplete without the other. However, the correlational research also have a limitation. It is very important to remember that the correlation doesn't imply causation, and there is no way to determine or prove causation from a correlation study. This is a common mistake made by people in almost all spheres of life. Correlation does not allow us to go beyond the data that is given.